everybody, Shadok here from SynergisticGaming in the Guild Wars 2 beta. In this video, I'm just going to be going over gear in Guild Wars 2. I'm just basically going to be showing you guys PvP gears because I really do not have the time to go around trying to get every single type of piece of gear to show you in PvE. In PvP, for competitive PvP, not for World vs. World, you can get gear from NPCs for free. You just get what you want, you set it all up, and then you can hop right into PvP. First I'll show you guys weapons. This is just a warrior. Obviously this will change depending on your class, but I'm on a warrior right now. So first off, you have all of your weapons. The warrior, for example, has axe, bows, swords, maces, things like that. Everything here isn't necessarily for your class. This is everything. So every weapon in the game, I'll just go through quickly. Axe, longbow, shortbow, dagger, focus, great sword, which is a two-handed sword, hammer, which is two-handed, mace, which is one-handed, pistol is one-handed, two-handed rifle, scepter, shield, staffs, one-handed sword, torch, horn, trident, harpoon gun, PvP spear. So the bottom three right here, trident, harpoon gun, and PvP spear. You only use these underwater. In underwater combat, you have to use underwater weapons. There are also, I believe, going to be like pistols and things that you can use underwater, but right now, in this point in time, those are the three weapons you can use underwater. And whatever weapon you're holding changes your skills. Some weapons are two-handed, and you will have 5 skills for those weapons. Some weapons are one-handed. You will have 3 skills for the one in your first hand, 2 for the one in your second hand, and the skills are different depending on the weapon. Next up we have sigils. These go on weapons. Sigils are just attachments. They're how you update your weapon. Like changing, fine-tuning for whatever you want, so I'll just go through a few quickly. I'm not going to go through all of them, but there are these here that make bleeding last 10% longer, burning last 10% longer, cripple last 10% longer, things like that. Those are conditions, so they extend conditions. Plus 5 crit chance, plus 5% damage, apply frozen, or when you apply a frozen it lasts 10% longer. So these are just basic things. Plus 15% stun duration. Endurance refilled each time you kill a foe, plus 10 healing each time you kill a foe. You are healed whenever you kill a foe. Some of these are very vague right now. They don't actually tell you how much they do. Like this doesn't tell you how much it heals. Each time you kill a foe, you gain a charge. At 26 charges, you are invulnerable for 5 seconds. So basically, after you get 26 kills, you're invincible for 5 seconds. That's definitely something that would be better for PvE because it's really hard to get that many kills in PvP without dying or going down. Sigil of Demon Summoning. You gain a summoning charge whenever you kill a foe. At 26 charges, you summon a Flesh Reaver. Believe me, Flesh Reavers are a pretty big pain in the ass to fight, so that would be pretty cool, but once again, in PvP, I don't see it happening. We have things that plus 50% chance for a 5-second bleed on critical hit, things like that. 30% chance to steal life on critical. It's kind of skipping through. You get the idea. Like 10% chance on critical to apply Frenzy for 3 seconds. Frenzy is a skill which increases your attack speed. So that's pretty cool. It pretty much gives you an effect. That's for warrior, obviously. 60% chance to remove a boon on critical, which is like an enchantment. It's a buff. 60% chance to remove a condition on critical, which is obviously the opposite. And by the way, I'll just quickly go over the setup for gear. You have 6 pieces of armor: your head, your shoulder, your body, your gloves, your pants, and your boots. Then you have 2 weapon slots of 2. In PvE, you do not unlock your second weapon slot until level 7. You can have a main hand and an offhand. So you see here I have a sword in one hand, a mace in the other. So I have my 3 main hand sword skills, and then I have 2 offhand mace skills. You don't get to choose these skills. They're different for each weapon though. Your first skill is like your auto attack, and with a warrior, most weapons have a chain of skills, so it's not just actually one attack, it's like 2 or 3 that it cycles through on hits. And then you see here I have a longbow, which warriors can use. That's a two-handed weapon. So if I switch to that with the weapon swapping button, my skills all change down here. And I have 5 skills for the bow because it is a two-handed weapon. Even your shield has skills, like it'll have skills that make, one of the skills makes it so that you can bash someone with the shield and stun them, and another one makes it so you block incoming damage for a certain amount of time. So everything has its own type of skill. And now let's take a look at the armor real quick.
More violence, I say, less violence.
So you just have the boots, helmet, all that stuff, everything I've gone through. There's heavy armor for like warriors. There is light armor, medium armor. What type of armor you use all depends on your class. And then there are ruins. Ruins, I'm not going to go through all of them because they're all really similar with slight variances, but for example, Superior Ruin of Air, plus 2% critical damage, plus 20% swiftness duration, plus 3% critical damage. When you use a skill, you gain swiftness for 5 seconds, cooldown 10 seconds on that, plus 5% critical damage, and plus 5% chance to gain Lightning Strike when hit. The way this works is each of these you have on a piece of armor, it takes you to the next tier. So if you only have one of these if you have this on one piece of armor and you can only have one per piece of armor, then you would get plus 2% critical damage. If you had 5 of these, you had one on each of your pieces of armor except for one, you would get everything up to plus 5% critical damage. And if you have all 6, you get all 6 things. That's how they all work. So for example, if say you pick this first one and you say, I want up to plus 100 condition damage, but I don't care about creating a death nova when I go down, but then I look down here and I like the plus 10 to all stats, so you could just take one of these and 4 of those, or 5 of those. So that allows you to really change your build up a lot. And then lastly, we'll go over to the accessories, I guess you would call them. For accessories, you have amulets, rings, and earrings. These are basically, you get 2 earrings, 2 rings, and 1 amulet. These add different things, like they just add bonuses to your attributes. All of them do that. They add bonuses to your attributes, and you can upgrade these as well with jewels. So like ruby jewel, opal jewel, like it just pretty much changes what attributes it affects. And that pretty much covers it for gear. Just here you see you have me weapon swapping. And an important thing to note is in Guild Wars 2, when you get to level 80 and you get level 80 gear, level 80 is max level on launch, you will not get any better gear than what you have. You can get better ruins or insignias, or sigils or insignias, but you will not get actual better like armor bonuses from your gear. It'll only be cosmetic at that point. There will be certain type of gear that, for example, you need dungeon tokens that you get from completing a certain dungeon in order to get one type of gear. If you have that gear, you cannot buy that with gold. Anyone who sees you is just going to automatically know that you have played the crap out of that dungeon and you're good at it. So say you want to try to do that dungeon with a group, they're going to know that. It's kind of just like a prestige thing. It doesn't give you bonuses. For PvE, like I said, you just don't get bonuses. That's pretty much where you're going to get all the armor, though, in PvE. If you want better looking armor, in PvP, it will not affect anything. You can have better looking armor, but it also just won't affect anything there, and that basically makes people rely on skill when they're playing PvE, or PvP, excuse me. Because they don't just have better armor. They're not better than you because they have better armor. They're better than you because they're better than you. So that's the reasoning behind that. So anyone who wants to whine about, oh, well, what's the point of playing a game if I can't keep getting better gear? The point is to play the game and not have to grind the gear. So if anyone has any questions about gear in Guild Wars 2, be sure to comment. If you liked what you saw here, be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.